Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today I'll be talking about your pet eating foreign objects, also called foreign bodies. In this two-part video, I'll be going over 7 different topics. The first video, I'll be going over topics 1 through 3. Topic number 1, reasons why your pet may eat a foreign object. Topic number 2, signs to look for that your pet may have eaten a foreign object. And topic number 3, diagnosing the foreign body. So let's start off with topic number 1. Reasons why your pet may eat a foreign object. Dogs and cats rely predominantly on their sense of smell when it comes to eating something. So a cat's sense of smell is about 14 times greater than ours, and a dog's, on average, is about 40 times greater. Now here's the other thing. We as humans, we have about 10,000 taste buds. Now a dog has a lot less than that at around 1,700, and a cat even less than that at around 470. So now you can kind of get an idea of how important a dog or a cat's sense of smell is when it comes to eating something. So if you kind of look at it in terms of percentages, so again, we have about 10,000. So let's just say 10,000 is equivalent to 100%. And a dog has just 1,700. Well, that's over 80% less taste buds than we have. And a cat sitting at 470, well, that's less than 95% than we do. So now you can kind of get an idea of generally speaking why we consider cats are so finicky. It's really because of lack of taste buds. So if anybody out there is feeding their cat canned food, you know that cat canned food has a really strong odor to it. You know, it really smells. And the reason is because of their lack of taste buds. They need to be able to smell it, to have that strong odor to entice them to eat. Okay, so moving right along. Now, we as humans, we chew gum, we chew tobacco. Some of us even chew, plastic bottle caps as a habit. But we know not to eat these things. Now, dogs and cats, they don't have that thinking capacity. So sometimes, actually more than likely, if they can get it in their mouth, there's a good chance that they will swallow it. Okay, so that's topic number 1 for now. In the second video, I'll be coming back to topic number 1. So let's move on to topic number 2, signs to look for that your pet may have eaten a foreign object. Now the first thing right off the bat is vomiting. So let's say you feed your pet and he or she vomits up food and or water minutes after eating. And I'm not talking about, 15 minutes, half hour, an hour. I'm talking like literally minutes, like 2 to 5 minutes after they eat and or drink. So if they're vomiting that up, that is, that's a problem. The other thing is continuously vomiting. So if they've already vomited up their food and water and they're continuously vomiting, if they may be vomiting up bile. Bile is like that yellowish, greenish liquid that they have in their system. They'll vomit that up. They also may vomit like, phlegm. Some people call it's like that white foam. They'll vomit that up as well when their stomach is empty. Now the other thing is if they're just, they'll get to a point where they're just dry heaving. So, they're retching, and they're just dry heaving, meaning they're not bringing anything up because their stomach is empty. That's a red flag. All right. The other thing is lack of appetite or inappetence. So if you're offering your pet, his or her favorite food or their favorite treat, and they're just like, turning their head at it, they don't want any parts of it, the alarm bell should be going off. Now, the other thing is lethargy, just sluggish, weak, just moping around, laying around, not doing anything, being lethargic, then again, the alarm bell should be going off. Now, if you have all 4 of those things going against you, then do not hesitate, don't wait, take your pet to your vet as soon as possible, immediately actually. And if your vet isn't open, then go to the nearest emergency clinic. Again, if you got vomiting, continuously vomiting, lethargy, inappetence, So total lack of appetite, do not wait, take your pet to the vet. Now, are there instances where you can kind of do the wait and see? Yes. For example, let's say, your pet doesn't want to eat his or her breakfast, but, they're acting fine, they're not vomiting. In that instance, yes, you can wait. Wait 12 hours, maybe you can even wait 24 hours, to kind of wait and see what goes on. But again, if you got all four of those things going against you, do not wait. Take your pet to your vet immediately. All right, so let's move on to topic number 3, diagnosing the foreign body. So you get to a point where you're at the vet. Now, the first 2 things that they should recommend, in my opinion, is x-rays and blood work. Now, the x-rays, obviously, so they can, they take the x-ray and they can see if there's a foreign body in there or not. Usually they'll do 2 views. A lateral view, which means they'll lay your pet on his or her side, take a view that way. The other view is what they call a VD, or ventral dorsal. Ventral dorsal. So if you can think of like a dorsal fin on your back, that's a VD shot. And what the VD is basically they have your pet on his or her back and they take an x-ray that way just to get a different view. Now, hopefully, once they take those x-rays, they can see like, yes, there's a foreign body there, we need to go to surgery. Now, there are some cases where it's not so cut and dry. So now one option would be to send that x-ray off to a radiologist via email. They'll just send those x-rays, through the email. And a radiologist is someone who specializes in viewing x-rays, interpreting x-rays, and ultrasounds as well. And so, hopefully you can get those results from the radiologist within the hour, and they can determine if, yes, in fact, there is a foreign body or not. Now, again, there are some cases where it's still not definitive. It looks suspicious, but it's not, they just don't know. So in those cases, what they will do is they'll do a barium series, backtrack to the blood work. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, why are we doing blood work if we're trying to find a foreign body? Well, it may not be so much to help diagnose the foreign body, but better to rule other things out. So about half of that blood work is going over organ function, like liver and kidneys. So if the vets do blood work, and if, for example, the liver and or kidney values are elevated, then that may be the cause of your pet, showing those symptoms. Again, vomiting, lethargy, inappetence. That might be the cause. However, if the blood work comes back, for the most part, normal, then the vets are going to think to themselves, well, then the foreign body is definitely highest on the list. And so they'll try to really focus on trying to find this foreign body. Okay, so let's go back to the x-rays. So if the x-rays are inconclusive, and even if the radiologist has his or her interpretation as still inconclusive, another good tool that vets will use is a barium study or a barium series. And so what they'll do is they'll give your pet barium. It's just like a liquid. They give your pet, and it's radio opaque. So when they take x-rays after they give the barium, it essentially just lights up on the view, and they can kind of track the barium. So what they'll do is they'll do the first x-rays. When I say the series or a study, they'll give your pet the barium. Right after they give the barium, they'll take an x-ray. And then they'll take an x-rays, for example, like every 10 to 15 minutes for about an hour. And then they'll do like every half hour and then every hour, so they can see each view. They can basically essentially track the barium moving through your pet's system. And if you're lucky, if your pet does have a foreign body, once that barium meets that foreign body, it'll kind of outline it. It'll kind of bring it out. It'll illuminate it. And the vet can say, aha, there's a foreign body. We need to go to surgery. Okay, so that is topic number 3. Now, in the next video, I'll be going over topics 4 through 7. Topic number 4 is once a diagnosis has been made and in fact there is a foreign body, then surgery is the next step. I'll be going over the surgery process. Topic number 5, taking care of the post-operative pet and what to expect. Topic number 6, the most common things that your pets will eat that will cause an obstruction. And topic number 7, pet proofing your home. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.